All right, well, tomorrow I'm going to do something that I don't normally do, which is cold camp. I don't normally cold camp because I don't like the cold very much, which is why I've built 3 hot tents in the past. However, because it is shoulder season and it's not really snowy enough to take a toboggan full of gear out, because a lot of parts of the trails are melted or in puddles, and the lakes aren't really safe enough to travel on anymore. So I decided in order to do a backcountry trip, I would need to backpack. So someone has asked me to make a video of what I would take on a cold camping trip. Now, it's only a 1-night trip. I am headed to the Halliburton Highlands Water Trails, and here is the gear that I am bringing. I will go through it, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. I am not an expert at cold camping in any way. Again, someone was just curious to see what I take on a cold camping trip, so this is pretty much it. Minus my clothes, which I'll just be wearing in what I'm wearing, and then I will bring an extra dry wicking long sleeve, an extra dry wicking tank, an extra sports bra, and 2 extra pairs of socks, just in case my underlayers get wet. I'll probably also bring an extra set of merino tights. All of those things would probably fit in a large Ziploc at best, so not a lot of extra room for that. It's not going to take up that much extra room is basically what I'm saying. So I'm going to go through it real quick with you, and again, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, starting off here, I've got my Marmot sleeping bag and my Eureka tent. This is the Suma 2 with the poles. Below that, I have my thermarest Neo Air sleeping pad, which also has my Cedar Summit pillow inside of that. So that's pretty much my sleeping system there. Okay, so above that I have some little tidbits here and there. I've got my portable charger, which is a very big one, and that will last me probably a few days, so more than enough battery power there. I've got a charger cable beside it, my thermometer, because I'm curious as to what the temperature is. Beside that, I have an audio speaker. Inside, I have an audiobook from the library that you can listen to with headphones, but I don't really like those earbud headphones. They hurt my ears, so I just have the speaker, and then I have all the stuff inside the little audiobook and the batteries, and I picked that up from the public library before they closed. I've got a book to provide me with something to do. I have got my Lucy light, which I absolutely love, a roll of toilet paper. Inside this bag here, I have some fire starters, a couple of candles, some waterproof matches. I also have some waterproof matches in my, I have a little tube that I carry around my neck, which has a whistle and a compass, a mirror, some waterproof matches, stuff like that. So I have that, and I'll also have a lighter in my sports bra. You need to keep them warm so they continue to work. Beside that, I have some hand warmers, or I guess these are body warmers. I have my hot water bottle because, again, I do not like the cold. So that is there, and I've got my glasses for reading. I have about 6 antibacterial wipes. Just considering the situation, I thought I would bring a few of those. I have no plans on coming into contact with anyone. I do not need to see anyone for this trip. I just drive to the parking lot, which isn't far from where I live, and the permit has already been purchased online, and then I just go to the campsite and camp and leave and get back in my car and come home. So below that is my first aid kit. I have a variety of different types of medicines, some antibacterial ointment and that kind of stuff. Below that, I've got my pocket knife, which will be in my pocket. I have my Purinized water drops in case I need to make some water. I have my Moraknov knife, which I use for batoning wood to make kindling and such. I've got my Sven saw to saw up some deadfall if I find some to make a campfire. I have my little blowy thing. I can't remember what these things are called, but this one is from Kid, who makes the stick stoves. I got this at the Outdoor Adventure Show, and basically it's a telescopic tube that you use to blow on the fire. It's just like a giant metal straw. It works really great. I've had one in the past that I made before, so it's nice to have that. I've got my fishing knife just for added protection. Here I have my my lantern, my candle lantern that I've used a few times in past trips. My selfie stick. I just have a string backpack that I'm just going to stuff into my bigger backpack because I will be doing a day trip. After I set up, I'm going to go do some hiking in the area and check out the frozen waterfalls that are there. Now here is my Ridge Rest thermarest, and this mat is amazing. I use it for winter camping. It is great for insulating and keeping the cold from coming up. I do have some loops at the bottom of my backpack here where most people put that kind of thing or their sleeping bag, so I'm gonna see if I can fit it on there. If not, I may not bring it. I'm sure I'll be fine without it because I do have the hot water bottle, and this bag is rated for -40 extreme, I believe, so I'll still be fine without it, but I would like to bring it. If I do bring it, I probably will not bring my chair, which is right next to it. That is the Joey chair. I love this chair. I bought my very first camp chair from Outdoors Oriented, and it was a Joey chair, and after having it for about 4 years, it broke. I've tried a couple of other chairs in between, and I have now gone back to getting a Joey chair because I love it. It's got the discs on the bottom so it doesn't sink in the snow, and it's just a fantastic chair. It's very durable, and you know, I really like it. So one or the other of those two will go. If I can bring the thermarest Ridge Rest, that'll keep me warm while I'm sleeping, and I can also just put it anywhere on the ground or make a snow chair or a snow couch if there's enough snow, and just sit on it, and I don't really need the chair. It's only one night trip. I am going to go early in the morning, so I will be there most of the day tomorrow, but again, I'm going to be doing hiking trails and stuff like that. Okay, I've got my combi, I'm not sure how you say that. If anyone knows, let me know, because I heard somebody else call them combis the other day, and I was like, combis? And anyways, I don't know what the real saying is, but those are my outer mitten layer for tomorrow because it is going to be really cold. I also like to wear them sometimes when I'm sleeping, and then I have an extra pair of gloves and my fleece neck warmer. Now I will be also wearing my thin gloves that I have, and then sometimes I wear the combis over top. The extra gloves is just in case those ones get wet, so I have a second pair. Okay, so moving down to my cooking stuff. I've got my utensils here. I've got a cheese grater for what I'm making for dinner. I always bring a big metal fork just in case I'm cooking on the fire, because if you bring those plastic ones, they melt. I've got the handle for my pot and my pan. I've got a very light spoon that I bring in case I'm making hot chocolate, a knife, and my silicone spatula. I love this thing. It's great to clean out the pot after, and also just my regular spatula. Over here I've got my big pot. I don't usually bring this big huge pot. There's a few reasons that I decided, and I'm still debating on whether I will change that to the small pot set or not. The frying pan isn't really anything I need to bring. I always have emergency foil in there, but it's good to use as a lid. And the reason I brought the bigger pot is because I will be boiling water for my hot water bottle and possibly even my Nalgene bottle. Again, I am a big wimp. I don't like the cold very much, so I want to make sure that I'm nice and warm. So I just thought it would be better to bring the big pot, and then I can just boil all the water at once instead of you know, doing 2 or 3 potfuls with the littler pot. It doesn't really matter. I can put stuff inside of it, and it doesn't really take up that much extra room. Again, it's only like a one-nighter, so not a huge deal. Inside I have a J-cloth. I've got my Jetboil Mighty Mo stove in here and a couple of cups. I usually bring 2 or 3 because they just nest inside each other. They're very light, and that way when I make my oatmeal like in the morning, basically I just kind of wipe out the cup with a paper towel, and then I just stick the other cup inside of it and bring it back and clean it when I get home. I also have a dish towel there. Again, that's good for if you make a fire or whatever and you need to cover up your hand, or you know, keep yourself from getting burnt. So down here I have my food. As you guys know, I like to eat fairly decently while I'm out, especially in the cold. I want to make sure I've got a nice full belly that will keep me nice and warm. But I don't have too much here. I might take away a few things, we'll see. Just got some paper towels there. I like to use those to wipe out my pots and pans and stuff, and then I just throw them in the fire. Got some oatmeal here with some dehydrated peaches from last year. I still have lots of dehydrated food from last year. My drink bag here. I like to have a lot of hot drinks available. It's going to be cold out, which it is. So I've got some hot chocolate in there, some ginger tea, and a hot apple cider mix. This is just a little fun snack bag that I have. It's got a couple little mini Snickers bars, some Jolly Ranchers, and some Icy Squares, just some little treats there. I have 2 of the marshmallows left, the Stay Puffs, that have the chocolate right inside of them. So if I do make a campfire, which I probably will, unless I can't find enough firewood, I can make those as a nice little treat. Over here I just have my seasoning stuff for my dinner, and what I just normally bring as well. I've got pink Himalayan salt in there. I've got roasted garlic powder in here, and this is roasted garlic flakes that I'm bringing for the pasta I'm making. And I always bring this little container just with some olive oil in it, just in case you need some oil. It's good for a lot of things too. So for my dinner, I have some linguine, just a little bit. You don't really need a lot. I don't need tons. And some old cheddar. I would normally use Parmesan or Romano for what I'm making, but because of the situation with going to the grocery store and stuff like that, I'm not just going to make a special trip just to buy some Romano for one meal. So I'll just make do with the old cheddar. I've got some butter here for the pasta meal as well, and this container is for some frozen shrimp that I'm going to be bringing. It is in a Ziploc, and then I'm just going to put it in this container for some extra security, and the food is going to go into my Ursack. Just a little added protection because I know that some of the bears are awake, and it is seafood, so I just thought I was going to bring a can of shrimp, but I can't eat the entire can. They're just too big. So I'm just going to bring some frozen ones. Just a couple of snacks, some cashews and some chocolate-covered almonds and a granola bar for my hike. And then over here I have my regular little toiletry kind of bag that I bring. This is a mirror and a brush inside of it. Got my liner for my eyebrows because I barely have any, and that's the only thing I really put on my face ever. I just have this it's like a survival tool from UST that I just kind of threw in there. I don't know why I have it in there, but it has a whole bunch of stuff on it, and I just always have it in there. And some base lotion. I find that outdoors, especially in the winter, it can be really drying on your skin, so I always use Clinique dramatically different lotion on my face every day. That is maybe why I look so young, as some people have mentioned on my birthday video. I don't know. Anyway, now down here I have something new. Now this is my homemade chapstick deodorant that I made. I do have a video on that. I'll put the link above somewhere so you guys can click on it if you want to see that. But basically, it's just unscented deodorant that I squished into an empty chapstick container. And then I have my toothpaste and my toothbrush. Instead, for this trip, I'm still going to bring the deodorant, but my friend Sue gave me this for my birthday, and it's called Crush Brush, and basically they're little, I I guess like teeth cleaning tablets. That's the price on there? No, it's not. But kind of an interesting product. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not sure if Sue's used it yet. But it's mint flavored, and there's all the information on it there if you want to see it. And I will let you guys know what it's like. It is, again, only a one-night trip. So I'm just going to bring like 1 or 2 of those tablets. And that is pretty much all she wrote. So I'm going to pack that all into the backpack. And like I said, additionally to that, I'm just going to be bringing some clothing, just one set of underlayers. So a dry wicking tank, an extra sports bra, a dry wicking long sleeve, some merino tights, and 2 pairs of socks, in addition to what I'll be wearing in, because, you know, it's a one-night trip. I don't really need that much, but if my underlayers get wet and sweaty, which they probably will when I go out hiking for the day, I just want to have a nice dry underlayer to put on before bed, so that I stay nice and toasty warm in my tent. So that is pretty much all of it. I hope this video has helped you in some way. Or, you know, again, if you have any questions or suggestions or comments, always happy to read comments in my videos. So please leave one. I hope you guys get out on some adventures. I know it's really tough right now with what's going on. I just happen to be, you know, in an area where I'm very close to a lot of places that I can still backcountry camp without too much issue. Just a little addition there. I am absolutely bringing my Army Tech Tiara headlamp, which I absolutely love. It was just charging in the kitchen and is still charging, so it wasn't in the group of other stuff there in the living room. And I'm also missing food. I'm going to be making a turkey wrap to bring for my lunch tomorrow. That's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for the couple of people who suggested I make it. I hope this helped you, and I will see you soon. Bye.